Alright guys, welcome to the BLCS Playoffs Season 6 Winners Quarterfinals. Tonight I'm joined by Chronic to welcome Immo Elite and Verve Jackals in Winners Quarterfinals Best of 7. Chronic, take it away.
Alright, game one, best of 7. A lot of Rocket League to be played in the next hour. At least that's what we're hoping for. One of these teams definitely hoping that this will be a quick one. Nice 4-0, but based on what we saw in the Jackals last time that I was here, at least, going up against the Verve Coyotes, this is going to be quite the winner's quarters, as both of these teams are going to have some high-powered offense, some rock-solid defense, and I really think that this first game is just going to come down to figuring out who's going to be able to get control of the midfield, who's going to be the person that really steps up early on in the series and gets the game one is such an important game, sets so much of the tone for the series, and especially for not just teams, but for individual players. If you have a rough game one, it's going to be a rough follow-up couple games, but just got to wait and see what happens. On Immo Elite, we've got Chillax, Magic, and Visible Prodigy, and on the Jackals, Fire, Johnny, and Stubbs. And already we're seeing some fire from Johnny. In the last series, we saw them against the Coyotes. Johnny, I think, scored 4 goals in that game to close out the series. And continuing that high-octane, high-pressure offense that we have come to know and love on this stream.
Yeah, I think we're going to see the same out of Immo Elite here. They're definitely going to be really attacking on offense here. They are looking solid so far throughout their playoff run, but Verve Jackals looking like another really top-powered offense here in the playoffs.
It's a dangerous breakaway here. Chillax can't get back to it in time. Fire makes the save to get this one out of harm's way. Magic, quick jump up, but it fakes out the defense. Chillax just snuck this one in. And Magic, a great lob off the backboard. Such a difficult play. No one on the backboard for the Jackals. And that's going to be a change they're going to have to make quickly. Otherwise, with touches like that from Magic, going to be a tough one for the Verve Jackals, defensively at least. But here they are, right back on the offense. Stubbs leading the charge with Johnny. Quick pre-jump, can't make contact, but Fire causing a lot of issues for the Coyotes last series. Looking to continue that pressure, but Magic, here we go again. Can they keep the playmaker status up? It will be Fire to shut that down. Chillax. Can't get back to this ball. Will be a free ball for Stubbs in the middle. Electing to just push this one forward to Fire, who is waiting. Prodigy dangerously takes this across their box. This one's going to be right back in the Jackals' corner. Gameplay is definitely slowed down as both teams have felt the pressure on offense. We're kind of back into this stalemate, figuring out each other on both sides. Magic gets the first touch, unable to follow it up, and Fire just try to keep possession. Does get a demo for their works, and it does not account to a goal. Stubbs with possession at the midfield. We're starting to see Immo Elite get a little boxed in. So the Jackals are starting to build some momentum on offense. Johnny just trying to keep this one away, waiting for their player to respawn. This one will be back in the Jackals' half. Man, really good job by Immo Elite. You know, while it did seem like the Jackals are starting to build up pressure, not once do we see Immo Elite have a scared rotation, a quick clear out of their half to try to just get boost or whatever. Very controlled on the defensive side. And not really a threat for the amount of sustained pressure that the Jackals had.
Yeah, and something you mentioned earlier in the beginning of this game was that game one teams are going to fill each other out and see how they're going to want to play here on offense and defense on both sides of the ball and see what changes are made. Going into like these rest of the games, game one definitely going to be interesting.
Oh, and that's a goal right there for Immo Elite. Just a gimme. Stubbs, another heavy touch and a great challenge by Magic, who has yet again put the ball in a very tough spot for the Jackals to save. And that'll be Visible Prodigy's easiest goal that they've had in a long time. And 2-1 after going down 1-0 in the first minute. Immo Elite back on top. Is Magic. Has this one taken away by Fire. Fire going off the ceiling, down to a teammate. What a passing play between Fire and Stubbs. Stubbs reading this play beautifully. Fire just unbelievable vision to get this up to Stubbs, and that is easily a top 5 play in my opinion.
Yeah, and this Johnny and Fire duo is definitely starting to heat up here early, as we saw in the last series. They dropped a lot of goals onto the net there of Verve Coyotes and took them down 4-1. This game 1 didn't go their way, but games 2 through 5 were dominant performances out of those two players.
And that chemistry, so important to start building early on. But how will Immo Elite respond? Looks like they are getting something going already. A great save by Stubbs on the goal line as Chillax yet again had the opportunity to tie this or take the lead back. Johnny, good challenge in the midfield. Neither team really electing to make that midfield play, but Chillax will take this on their own. Second goal for them. Nice little pop up here, and no one challenging from the side of the Jackals. That's a free shot for Chillax. Can't give him the time and space, and that's something that the Jackals got to keep in mind moving forward.
Yes, the Verve Jackals did not win Game 1 the last series, and they won 4 straight, and here they are trailing by 1. It's less than a minute to play here. Chronic, what are you doing here if you're the Jackals going to the next game?
Still got time in this one. Don't want to give up any pace, and I think that's the biggest thing to keep up motivation moving on in this, is don't change up your gameplay. You want to still have that aggression. And if you are Immo Elite, definitely want to seal the deal, but at the same time, keep your gameplay going. Don't need to change up anything right now, because a 3-2 win is not a blowout by any means. And there's always something to be learned, but this game's not quite over yet. Fire just misses it. Man, while they're going to have a lot of chances in the next couple games, that one's going to shake you a little bit. Stubbs looking to make it count. This one's just over, but Chillax makes the save. Immo Elite get away with that one, but well deserved by all means. 3 goals to their name, stuck with it. And Chillax, 2 out of 5 shooting. Magic with 2 assists. Excellent performance. And Fire clearly upset, not with themselves, but with lag. And, you know, that's definitely a relatable thing, I think, sometimes in Rocket League. But looking at the stats right now, we've got 9 shots in favor of Immo Elite to the, man, my math, 7 shots for the Jackals. So definitely holding on to, you know, a little bit of a stronger offensive approach if you are Immo Elite. But the Jackals definitely had their game plan set out. We are going to do a server change really quick, requested by the Jackals, and we will get right back into this shortly. But Immo Elite up 1-0, and I really like what we saw out of their control. We saw them start to establish that midfield towards the end of the game. Chillax with a great pop-up in the center, recognizing that all 3 defenders from the Jackals were just kind of stuck. And one of them was on the slightly rotating off the backboard. 2 of them were rotating back to net and just caught them in a very awkward position where 2 people were forced to go. One, like I said, was already trying to get back in position off the backboard. But here we are, and Immo Elite taking first one by storm. But based on that first one, we're going to have quite a series on our hands.
For sure, we definitely are, and this is going to be, I feel like, close games throughout the most part, maybe 1 or 2 blowouts in the later parts of the series, but it's going to be interesting to see how the teams hang with each other as the series goes on more and more, where the series score is either tied or it's a 3-1 advantage for somebody.
We will find out. Forbidden Temple, as we get these players in here. This is definitely more pressure situation than I'm sure a lot of these players have felt. Playing already through numerous weeks, numerous matches in BLCS. And finally have made it this far in the playoffs, where we get to the Game 7 marathon that both teams have to endure. Here we are in Game 2. Can the Jackals come back? Or will Immo Elite continue their momentum to get that offensive approach already started? Visible Prodigy up against Fire. That's a big miss by Fire, who had no boost to their name. The Visible Prodigy, look at the speed here. Excellent first touch right off the wall. Most people would definitely opt to just pop that straight up into the corner, try to get a nice touch, you know, in a little bit more of a pass out, but instead goes off the sidewall in a very narrow window and puts Fire in such an awkward spot that they couldn't really get back to it at all. Up 1-0 is Immo Elite.
Yeah, that first goal does come early with leaving plenty of time on the clock here for Fires. The Jackals now will start the transition. Definitely the key player to watch from here right now is Fires on the offensive side of the ball here for the Jackals. Definitely the playmaker for this team.
And it looks like right now the Jackals are just a tad off. We saw right there on that play the Fire just wasn't ready in the midfield. As that third man, as that starting to rotate into striker, they look a little bit late to their rotations. And I think that's just a testament to this Immo Elite squad as Chillax will get it tucked under the crossbar. The zero angle hero on this one. Magic clearing the way for him. But that is no joke of a shot right there. Very nice finish by Chillax. 4 minutes on the clock, and Immo Elite still giving it right now to the Jackals. And we really got to see something change for the Jackals breaking out of their half soon.
Yeah, we saw that ball side rotation there to Fire, which could have put him out of position there. That goal did go in by Chillax, and now they're up 2-0.
And there it is again. Another miss by the Jackals. It was right across the opponent's net, and no one was there for the shot. Came in way too late. The defenders had just enough time to get back in the right spot, and got to see a little bit more pace from the Jackals as it relates to their rotations.
And I feel like it's
Dubs. Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like as this game goes on, I think MLE's going to get more comfortable as they take these leads and against the Jackals and start to play comfortably.
Oh.
Stubbs gets the first goal on the board for the Jackals.
That's just a nice play by Fire, keeping the ball close. Just recognizes they're probably not going to get that double tap. I mean, even if they went for it, no one from the side of Immo Elite expected Fire to be there at the top of their box, waiting for that clear. Fire playing excellent reactionary Rocket League. Cuts the lead to 1. It's Magic looking to break out of the half of Immo Elite. Move the ball forward. But Johnny and company not having any of it. Johnny here for the dunk, but actually fakes the shot. I think they're just playing for the dunk here. But, I mean, this is just fantastic play here. It's Johnny recognizing Visible Prodigy on the backboard, and I mean, that's just enough to throw off the defense because you expect them to try to get one more touch for the shot, but Prodigy panicked a little bit too quickly. And we see the product of that as this could be a third one just like that. Chillax can't get back to it. Finds the corner, but unfortunately of the wrong goal. And that will be Jackals up 3-2 in 30 seconds.
Yeah, we still have half the game remaining here. This is going to be a high-scoring game, it looks like, for the most part. If this does continue, but Immo Elite definitely can pull this back together, down by 1 with still 2.5 minutes remaining.
It's an awkward one for the defense of Jackals. Get away with murder there is Magic. Up for this ball, trying to follow up their own touch. A double commit on the backboard. We're still seeing that rotation issue from the Jackals. Chillax drops us down. Stubbs with an unbelievable pre-jump save. Fire trying to find their team in the middle. We'll get this over to Johnny, the striker. They really need to step up and continue to step up, really. 1 goal, 2 assists to their name. 2 shots to the name, rather. Stubbs going up against Magic. We'll win this one out. Stubbs and Chillax demo each other in a temporary 2v2. Chillax gets the fortunate spawn, tries to set this up for Magic on the counterattack for Immo Elite off the backboard, and this will be the tying goal for Chillax, making that counterattack look so easy. And you gotta have someone on the backboard if you're Jackals here, but I mean, that's just beautiful, beautiful passing in Rocket League right there.
Yeah, and this Verve Jackals defensive rotation is starting to look a little iffy to me, if I'm not going to lie here. I think Immo Elite is definitely trying to force their opponents into making bad positions and just hit that ball right back towards the side of Immo Elite. So they're able to make these counterattack goals go right in the net, but Stubbs will score.
And that's the Hattie for Stubbs. I mean, this is just bully Rocket League. Just bodies the defender on that 50-50, able to recover fast enough, and Stubbs, well-deserved hat trick in this game too, and very impressed with how they're able to step up to getting a not necessarily shut out in game 1, but turn the table and really step up as it seems like he's gonna have to be the guy for this Jackal squad. It's Chillax The rest of Immo Elite trying to get something going on offense. Much more slow approach than we saw in their last goal. Fire with no boost to the name. Chillax yet again. We've seen what they can do offensively with the ball. Invisible Prodigy trying to make something happen for their team. Magic has a shooting opportunity, but way too slow of pace. Had the accuracy, but Fire, that's a routine save for them. It's Prodigy trying to get their team back into this one. Immo Elite. 60 seconds left on the clock. Got to get one if they want to have any chance of going up 2-0 in this series. It's Fire. Still no boost to their name, but playing great defensively. Prodigy will leave this one. Very good communication there by their team to try to get something going. You're starting to see a lot of that in Rocket League, is going for that first play, and if you've already gone for mechanical play, faking that second double touch, or going for that flip reset and allowing your teammates to come in and take a harder, more accurate shot that catches the defense off guard. And I mean, if Immo Elite can start to execute on some of those plays, this is going to be a really tough defensive game for the Jackals.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. As Immo Elite, their offense has always seemed pretty good, just these little bit iffy defensive rotation errors that are made, but they'll definitely have a lot of time to get used to how they want to play defense here against the Jackals. This series is the best of 7, so we could go 5 more games if this does go the distance.
And one thing that we are seeing right now is Immo Elite not really changing up their strategy of how they want to approach the goals. We only saw one where they changed it up, went for a lot of passing plays, very quick up the field. But the other goals, pretty routine. And once the Jackals got accustomed to it, it was pretty tough to break them down. But Stubbs with the pop-off, easily the MVP of that one. 3 goals, 1 assist, 1 save, and 100% shooting in a game with a good amount of shots just in general. I'd say, again, 1 goal difference just going in the favor of the Jackals. And we are tied 1-1 in this best of 7. Nation, I would... This is definitely. I would hang tight. We got quite a series on our hands.
Yeah, I think this is going to go Game 6, Game 7. It's definitely 2 high-level caliber teams here, just giving it their all in this best of 7 winners quarterfinals. So the winner does get the 1 seed Death Wish in the next round. So definitely going to be another interesting matchup that will be sometime next week. But both these teams definitely not teams you want to mess with. They're going to look to see what they can do to get things going here on offense.
Prodigy follows us up in the midfield. Is able to get the second touch. Slowing this one down. Crossing it in front of the box, but not enough height coming out of the corner. Magic just puts a shot on target, and I'd love to see that. Something that we didn't see a ton of from Immo Elite last game, as we saw in the first one, was making their opponents dive for saves. And you can see here, a lot of diving having to happen for the side of the Jackals. Chillax gets a bump on Fire, who's trying to get the ball out. Johnny will do just that. Magic and Visible Prodigy stuck on their half. Good communication, but Fire doing what they do best. Going into the midfield and sets up Johnny. Fire, I'd love to see the assist count in the last 3 games that we've seen from Fire and just their effectiveness on offense, because we've seen this so many times. And the effectiveness of Johnny, just knowing exactly where to put the ball, recognizing a defender, doesn't really have much to work with, just have to put it on the open side of the net. 1-0 for the Jackals, continuing their momentum from the last game.
Yeah, and something you mentioned is that you say that Immo Elite definitely is not changing anything. What changes would you like to see made going forward?
I think we're not seeing really, it's not a lot of commitment to the play. I think a lot of it is just their overthinking. And even right there, you see that they punched in the goal because they had one person just kind of chasing down the ball, committing to the play. And typically if they saw 2 defenders in the last game, they probably been like, okay, well, there's 2 defenders, I'm not going to score this, even though they would have the better play or better percentage chance on the play. So that's a big momentum swing right there, just committing to the play, trusting their own ability to make those kind of plays and get the ball in the back of the net. But right now they got to do that kind of commitment on defense. It's Prodigy moving this one down. No boost to their name. Johnny. Kick this one out. It's Magic trying to get back on the offensive side with Chillax. Does get a nice little double tap, but it doesn't amount to much. But I do like what we're seeing from the side of Immo Elite. very confident in just controlling this midfield, allowing and recognizing that the Jackals are just going to continue to push this ball upfield in hard clears, using all of the boost on their side and collecting that mid boost, forcing these clears and just optimizing on so much of what the Jackals are doing, pushing this ball upfield with no real intent on getting back to it.
Yeah, and this is actually a regular season rematch, as Immo Elite did take the series 3-2 in
Ooh.
week 5, I believe. So both of these teams have played against each other before.
Oh, that's just... Wow. Well, at least they got a taste of who they're dealing with. As Magic gets bumped off the ball, and man, this Jackals defense is still holding strong. And Immo Elite right there, we just saw it again. They almost got caught too far forward the last time that Stubbs got a 1v1. They almost get caught with it again. Magic in a 1v1 of their own puts us off the backboard. Fire in such a peculiar situation. Able to get this one into the corner. Maintain control. Zero boost again. Name a more iconic duo than Fire with no boost and the defensive zone for Jackals. I think we've seen Fire make unbelievable saves on 12 to no boost time and time again in the past 3 games. And I mean, yeah, what if you're if you're the Immo Elite, that's got to be so frustrating because you're doing everything right just to have Fire make a little tap away from your shot. But props to Fire on the defensive side, as Immo Elite still trying to get this offensive pressure going.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be frustrating here, but Immo Elite still doing their thing, getting things started here with about a minute and a half remaining. Tied up game in game 3, potentially overtime, the first game in the series.
Fire not interested in overtime right now. This doesn't seem like it as they go for an air dribble. Magic does well to get this cleared away back towards mid. Who else but Fire in the backboard? Doesn't get the best touch though, and Magic! That's twice now we've seen them take a shot and it just doesn't work, but Visible Prodigy says, let me show you how it's done. And don't worry, we see that Prodigy really coming out, as that was just a very, very clean ground dribble. I mean, I don't think that's just clinical. I don't know what you're supposed to do on the defensive side other than be prepared 4 steps ahead of that.
Yeah, with just under a minute here, Immo Elite now just going to try to hold on to the lead. Here's about a minute left. Prodigy looking for a shot is going to be saved away though. Is that Jackals defensive half there? Definitely going to have to keep them alive in this series. Just pretty good defense out of Fire. Just like you mentioned before, little no boost to work with, making those beautiful saves.
Oh my goodness, that had to be it. They don't get that goal. That's going to be, man, they lost the opportunity on that one. Fire will be very frustrated with themselves if they can't tie this one up and at least go to overtime, because that was a huge missed opportunity. One thing I want to point out, where has been Stubbs this whole game? The hat trick master from last one is nowhere to be seen, as Immo Elite 10 seconds away from going up in this series. It's Magic. Just moves this one downfield. Got to go the full length of the field if you are on the Jackals. Fire drops this one and just can't get underneath it. And this one will hit the ground. Immo Elite take game number 3 to go up in this best of 7.
Yeah, it's now 2-1 in the series. Chronic Jackals trail by 1. It's definitely very close games. I believe all 3 have been 1-goal differences, if I'm not mistaken. But what's your thoughts on the series so far going into game 4?
Well, you know, I think from both sides, this was definitely a stalemate. I don't think I was really impressed by any player. I mean, Fire obviously defensively did very well, and Johnny with the 1 goal. But I mean, those are the only players from Jackals that I saw really doing much. But you look at Immo Elite, Visible Prodigy really stepped up that game. Magic creating a lot of offensive opportunities. But Chillax for Immo Elite and Stubbs for Jackals, 2 of the MVPs from, you know, both teams in the last game, not doing anything in game 3. So not very consistent performances from either of them. So gonna have to see if they're able to step up for either of their teams, because they made such a statement in the last one, especially if you're Stubbs, because Jackals and Stubbs wasn't doing much. We saw the pressure that Immo Elite could do, or could build up rather, and we're gonna have to see what changes the Jackals make, so that it's not just Fire has to move the ball up the field. We'll see as Immo Elite are starting to come into their own and keeping up with their own gameplay. Already, quick shot for Immo Elite, trying to get this lead yet again. He's dropping down off the backboard. Chillax. Again, right back off the backboard, and this one's going to go crossbar and out. A really nice touch by Johnny, but that was a missed opportunity there for Immo Elite, and could be costly as this one crosses over in front of the net of the blue half. It's Magic. Down towards midfield, and that's an uncharacteristic hit by Immo Elite. They usually like to control this pace at the midfield. Johnny up for that one really early, but Magic up way earlier, able to get that one out of harm's way. And right now, just a little bit of ping pong going back and forth between both teams. Stubbs with that great dunk will posterize the defender, and in the first minute, we see Jackals go up by 1.
Yeah, with just over 4 minutes left, there's Stubbs, like you mentioned earlier, is nowhere to be found in Game 3, but here he is in Game 4, putting Jackals on the board first.
Right off kickoff. Immo Elite already have this pressure that they got to step up on offense. Magic fakes a flip reset, tries to hit Chillax on the ground pinch. Unable to do so. Chillax has been a little bit shaky these last 2 games. A lot of side flips. A lot of little panics here and there. Got to see that Game 1, Game 3 Chillax come out. It's Magic. Takes the ball up the wall. We've seen what they can do with the ball, and already putting on a clinic in the air. Just set up Visible Prodigy, probably the best shooter for Immo Elite. But no angle to their name. Could it really get anything going? That's going to be an awkward ball. Chillax drops it straight down, and it will be on target, but Johnny makes the save. Fire. Gets this one away, but Prodigy reads it. Able to recognize Jackals did that a lot last game. Whenever they're out of boost, whenever they're kind of stuck in an awkward spot, Prodigy just reads the play perfectly. No one back on the defense for Jackals. We're all tied up with 3:16 left.
Yeah, as we're tied up, like you mentioned, this game could be a potential game changer in the series. As if Immo Elite can win, it's a 3-1 series score now on series point for next game. Jackals definitely a must-win game here if you want to give yourselves a better chance of winning the series. His 3-1 deficit is definitely hard to come back from.
Visible Prodigy trying to take the lead, and they do! Second goal in 30 seconds is Stubbs going up against Chillax. Chillax, a fortunate touch, but an unbelievable follow. Trying to get that dunk, and they succeed. And Prodigy doing what they do best. Finish that ball. Go up 2-1 against this Jackals defense. But Immo Elite putting some respect on their name. It's Johnny trying to do the exact same thing. Passing this one down to Fire, who did not want to push up. Prodigy and Magic both double commit in the corner. They do well to get this one away, and Magic staying with this ball. Fire puts this one on target, but way too far out to make it anything meaningful for the offensive attack. Johnny, what a great shot. Chillax gets this one away, and Magic quick on the counterattack. Stubbs cancels this one out. We're seeing a lot of last-second saves. Chillax. Just to back pass this to Prodigy, who back passes this onto the Immo Elite side, but Fire's ready for it. Can't do too much with it because, yet again, Fire, no boost to their name. And I feel like every time we've seen Fire get an opportunity to go to the ball, they just have no boost. And I think that's a big props to the Immo Elite squad, shutting down these counterattacks with boost management in the midfield, really making sure that not only do they have boost, but that the Jackals have none. And we're seeing the product of that as Magic goes for the flick, and it's just off. They actually end up saving their own shot. This one might just be in, and it's not in yet. Stubbs just gets it. How is this ball not found the back of the net? Fire keeps it away. Nation, these guys are so close. And man, Immo Elite that much closer to sealing the deal, but they just can't get it done on that attack.
Yeah,
What? Wait. What? What?
And how is that not a goal? But this is what Immo Elite loves to do, is to just put pressure on their opponents and apply as much of it as they can. But it's the Jackals on the counterattack here. Immo Elite definitely a top team in this bracket, but we are seeing strong plays coming out of Prodigy here. Like you mentioned before, star player for this team. But some of these shots in net just have to go in. Those cannot be shots saved by the defender.
It's another commitment issue that we saw from the second game. They're just slowing down, and I mean, you got to crash the net. There's a slow shot from Magic that just should have been a goal. Like, quite frankly, just should have been a goal. And you know, there's just no power to the shot there. Got to make sure that you're cleaning up your not just your mechanics as solo plays, but the very fundamentals of Rocket League, getting pace on those kind of wide open opportunities right in front of your opponent's box. Right now, Immo Elite, we say all this, but they're still in the lead. They still were holding pressure very strong. And they have rarely had to play defense in what felt like over 2 minutes. And that will likely continue, but Fire somehow gets back to this one. 10 seconds on the clock. Can they make something happen? Stubbs off the backboard. This is an opportunity for Johnny, but he's unable to make contact. The person that you'd want to take the shot. Fire just trying to make anything happen. And that was such a big brain play there by the defender. I don't know if they meant to backflip or not, but they recognizing that one wasn't going to hit, or wasn't going to go in without hitting the ground. It goes down, and Immo Elite up, I believe, 3-1 on the Jackals. Is that right, or is it tied now?
It's now 3-1.
Okay, that's what I thought. Prodigy yet again, 2 goals to their name, both assisted by Magic and Chillax. Man, we're looking at the scoreboard of Jackals. Just not a lot of offense at all. I mean, the shot count difference from both sides. I mean, Immo Elite had almost double the amount of shots that Jackals did. Testament to their pressure, and we can see Jackals waiting to ready up, thinking they're taking their time with this next one. Got to make sure that they are, you know, resetting, getting in the right headspace, and got to come up with a better game plan, because Immo Elite are starting to run away with this one.
Yeah, I agree, Chronic. If you're the coach of the Jackals, what are you telling your players right now? Because you're down 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, obviously Stubbs, you know, he's got some chores to do. Got to go do some chores. Got to take that off your mind. But you know, I think that if you are sitting here right now for the Verve Jackals, looks like they are ready to go. They need to get their mind right now. I mean, they really. I think that they gotta control this ball in their half. We've seen, as much praise we've given Fire, they have not looked like themselves, as Immo Elite have just continued to capitalize on their quick clears downfield, just trying to relieve pressure, but they're just giving the ball away to players like Prodigy, and we see what happens. It just creates so many opportunities for Immo Elite. And I'm expecting that we're going to have to start seeing this a little bit more RNG kind of play style from the Jackals that we saw in their series against the Coyotes. Start to just have a little bit more fun. Again, it comes down to trusting your abilities, Magic. Oh my goodness. No way. Oh, that's a heartbreaker if they lose this series. That one that can definitely get in your head if you're Magic. But Prodigy making a oh my goodness. Wait, that's the same thing that we saw last time. So many shots, but if Immo Elite aren't careful and Jackals start heating up, these missed opportunities are really going to hurt them moving forward. And, I mean, their shooting percentage has got to be what? I mean, 10% on this series? That's not great. That is not great if you're, especially with the amount of open nets, the double taps, and, you know, not that the Jackals haven't played good defense, but just a lack of capitalization on all of the hard work that they did to make those opportunities happen. Immo Elite really need to step up in those clutch time moments.
Yes, these, like you said, those missed opportunities are going to hurt, but Immo Elite, 10% shooting, like you mentioned, but they're still up 3-1, so obviously what they're doing is working. But Magic looking for a shot is saved by Stubbs. It's the Jackals. I feel like they're getting a little lucky on the defensive half, but they are still following through with their on offense and defense, trying to follow the ball into the other half of the field and try to make opportunities for each other.
Yeah, and you nailed it. I mean, they have definitely the Jackals have to count their blessings and make sure that they're not running out of luck, because can only at this level the other team's only going to miss so many open nets, and if you're not creating any opportunity on offense for yourself, this is going to be a very quick series. But there we go. We see it for the Jackals finally break the ice after what felt like 7 minutes, including the last game, of just continued pressure for Immo Elite, and you know, calculated on that one. They're very fortunate to not get in each other's way, but you know, like I said, playing that RNG Rocket League, like we said, or you know, like that we had talked about, making sure that they're still having fun with the game, making sure that the vibes are in check. So we see Fire going for a demo, but Prodigy able to get back to this one. Sticking with it, Chillax there for it, and no one back on the defensive side. And I mean, this is just really nice by Prodigy to stick with it. Chillax trying to follow up to the touch, but Magic able to finish this one off, and that'll be the easiest goal that we've ever seen for Immo Elite. Jackals nowhere to be seen on their goal line, or even, I think all of them were in the blue half at one point during that goal. I don't think there was one player that was even within the vicinity of the 3 players of Immo Elite on that goal. So that's got to be a little concerning if you are a Jackals fan.
Yeah, and like you said, dangerous commitment there out of Chillax and that double commit that if Magic somehow missed that open net, the Immo Elite would have been in a world of pain going back into the other half on defense.
Here we are, 2 minutes left. As that's a great pass middle, but Magic again, missed opportunity. Fire. Can't get the flick they wanted. Velcroed to the wall a little bit. I think we've all been there. Chillax. Booms this one downfield. Prodigy trying to find a bump, a dunk, or something. Unable to connect. Stand on this ball, gets this one middle. Chillax and Prodigy both back. Here we see it yet again. This midfield control starting to build for Immo Elite. Fire slowing this one down. Something that we didn't see last time. In the last game, or really 2 games that we saw the Jackals take the L in. This Johnny will score this one. Was Fire, like I was saying, Fire slowing the play down and forcing the Immo Elite to, you know, out of their goal, opening up parts of the field that weren't available to them when he would just clear the ball towards the midfield right at Immo Elite. And we see the dividends it pays. 2-1 for the Jackals in a must-win game.
Yeah, Immo Elite definitely feel like they're starting to slow down just a little bit here as those opportunities earlier parts in the game I feel like it's going to come back to bite them here. But they're still down 1 with about a minute left to play. It's definitely still doable. The Jackals looking like they've got a lot of pressure going into the half of Immo Elite, but the whiff does come out with Stubbs. Able to follow it up, Chronic. What's going on here for Immo Elite?
I really think it's just a change of pace from the Jackals, recognizing that they have a lot more opportunity if they slow the play down. Fire does get a demo here. It's Johnny starting to heat up on the attack. Stubbs moving in, getting in on the action. But we are still seeing solid rotations from Immo Elite, but like we just saw there, they get uncomfortable, and that just relates exactly to their mechanical ability. Got to see them be comfortable in those uncomfortable situations, not necessarily to make the perfect hit, but to make sure that they're getting the fundamental strength on it, at least, you know, general accuracy on the ball where they want to go, and make sure that they're playing for each other, going upfield, going for demos, clearing out the goal line as we see here, and that's a clutch goal. Man, Immo Elite will not go quietly into the night on this one, still looking to close the series out in a 4-1 victory, and it is now back on the table in this game number 5. Yeah, 5 numbers.
So we are in game 5. Chronic 3-1. Immo Elite able to close it out here if they can get one more goal on the board. Looks like we'll go to overtime. As Immo Elite on golden goal.
Ooh. Wow. It all comes down to this. For this game number 5, potentially the series. Winner moves on to the semifinals as Fire kicks this one downfield. Prodigy tries to find Magic on the left side. Magic, who's had a tough time reading these in these series. Johnny right off the backboard. Stubbs, can they close it? They cannot as Prodigy makes the goal line save. It's the longest amount of time, but that one just pinches in. Fire will get the goal off of a crazy 50-50, and Chillax just not making the right 50-50 play on that, and nothing the defense can do. As the Jackals will push this series to a game 6.
Yeah, this is well, 3-2 Chronic. Game 6, Immo Elite does fall finally to winning 3 straight, or 2 straight, I think. But game 6, so last year's cast only went 5, so now it's game 6, farthest we've ever gone by casting together. So I asked you the same question after game 3, but now we're getting ready for game 6. What are your thoughts on the series as we've hit the back part of the series?
Man, I think that both teams really have. It's been such a close series. I really don't know who has a competitive edge at this point. As Jackals, they do have the momentum, but a crazy 50-50 like that, we have just kind of seen that kind of. I don't want to call it luck because it's lasted this long for them, but that RNG Rocket League that we've seen, we're starting to see the Jackals, get a little bit more comfortable in that chaotic setting and making Immo Elite as uncomfortable as possible in their half. But Immo Elite clearly not too uncomfortable as Magic will score the first 3 seconds of Game 6.
Yeah, that definitely first goal off the kickoff could be a big momentum shifter here for Immo Elite. As they've lost in overtime. It is what it is. It happens. Definitely could have been down on themselves after that miss, unfortunate by I believe 1 of the 2 defenders out of Immo Elite. But here they are up in game 6 off the rip.
Already the pressure mounting yet again. Fire going for a demo, putting Chillax in a tough spot, but Chillax a really nice recovery. Trying to relieve some of that pressure out of the Immo Elite half. Fire. Sends this one in an awkward spot. Johnny almost bodying the whole team of Immo Elite. And Chillax an opportunity to counter, gets a pinch under 1. Nice control here by Fire, but Visible Prodigy reads this one very well. Johnny puts Stubbs in an impossible scenario, but Chillax not fast enough to this ball to make it count. Prodigy, the offensive mastermind for Immo Elite. This one will be an awkward ball for Stubbs, unable to make contact, and Magic can't make contact either. Fire, already right in the face of this Immo Elite defense. Visible Prodigy. Again, going for these air dribbles or really air carries that we've seen at the midfield to try to relieve that pressure. It's worked so many times, and that will be another goal for Immo Elite, going up 2-0. Trying to close out the series as no one back on the defensive half. For Jackals, just getting a little bit too antsy. And Nation, 2 up. One more game for Immo Elite to take the series and move on in the bracket. Can they do it?
Out of what we've seen so far in the series, and the Jackals able to come back late, I'm going to believe this is going to go to a game 7. As Jackals are going to start to turn up later in this game, I feel like final minute or so. But definitely, Immo Elite could close it out here, but I won't be shocked if the Jackals do pull something together here in the later part of, like, maybe the final minute. 2 goals going in, overtime, potentially, and we'll see what happens again in overtime if it does go that far in the game.
Gotta be careful if you are on Immo Elite. 2-0 is probably one of the most stressful leads you can have in Rocket League, because you're not sure if you want to slow down, control the pace of the game, or if you want to keep up the pressure. The Jackals starting to feel the heat underneath them a little bit, as this one's gonna be another goal for Prodigy. 2 for 2 on shooting. Stepping up for Immo Elite, trying to get this Game 6 win. Recognizing the stakes are so high. And man, that's a big one. That's a huge momentum swing, breaking out of that 2-goal lead. Now you can start to get a little comfortable. Make the Jackals have to push up as far as they possibly can, because we've seen Immo Elite really strong on the counterattack game. But can they capitalize as Magic will kick this one forward? Prodigy in the backfield.
Yeah, Chronic, it's only been about 2.5 minutes as we are at the halfway markers. Immo Elite with a very nice 3-0 lead here in Game 6. What's changed for you in this game out of Immo Elite? Definitely, I feel like it's been a lot of more offensive pace here. Jackals starting to slow down, it feels like, for the most part on defense, and just these transitions on offense are immediately cut away by the Immo Elite defense.
Absolutely, and we're starting to see these kind of touches from Magic come in clutch, but that one almost costly. And I think we are starting to see a little bit of a fortune go in the way of Immo Elite as it relates to some of those kinds of plays. But the majority of everything that's going on for them stems from their just offensive prowess. But Fire, you said it before. Once the Jackals start to feel the pressure, could see a swing in momentum, as that's a big, big goal to try to get back in this one. 2 minutes left, plenty of time. And in Rocket League, anything is possible, as we all know, and why it has become our favorite esport to watch. Johnny, maybe a quick one, gets the dunk, but Stubbs will follow it up. And Stubbs, Stubbs had 44 points just until now. It's Johnny making this one very easy for Stubbs. Crashing the net, down by 1, just like that. And just when Immo Elite thought they could get comfortable, Jackals slap him in the face twice. Still have to break through this last barrier to try to tie this one up, but oh, that's a big miss. All 3 players really commit so hard for this squad. Johnny tries to put this one on target, makes a lot of players dive. It's Fire, kicks this one forward. Prodigy does so well with this ball. Recognizing the situation they're in, Johnny just puts this one on target. 2 players dive. Where's the third man? Fire was so far back. Goes for the solo play. Drops it under 1, but can't get it under Chillax. Ice in the veins by Chillax, as we would expect from their name. This one's going right in front. Magic clears it away. Fire, a cost. This could be a very costly miss if Prodigy capitalizes. 1 minute left. Upper bracket lives on the line for this Jackals squad. It's Prodigy. Bit of a mistouch here. Chillax working with Prodigy to get this one away. Magic does well in the 50-50, but Fire. Magic's wasting so much time here. Jackals have to go, just turn on the Jets a little bit. Magic in a big 50-50 against Stubbs, and it will go in favor of Stubbs, but again, Prodigy stepping up big time. Off the backboard, where's the shooter? Stubbs puts this one off the crossbar. Fire there with the shot, he misses! Fire misses off the crossbar with 1 defender in net. And the Jackals, that might have been their last opportunity as this one clears out downfield. 10 seconds left. Prodigy with control of the ball. Johnny just trying to make something happen. Magic might have just sealed the deal. Unless Fire can keep this one up. They do indeed. Prodigy up for this. Stubbs had an opportunity. It's Johnny. Can't keep this up, and that will be series. Unbelievable finish. Fire could not finish that third tying goal. But what a series between Immo Elite and the Verve Jackals. Immo Elite will take it 4-2 as Jackals are bumped down into the lower bracket.
Yes, Immo Elite will advance to the winners semifinals against 1-seeded Deathwish next week. Definitely another interesting matchup coming up. But what a series, Chronic. Thank you for joining me. It's definitely close.
Absolutely.
I think, was every game a 1-goal difference?
I'm pretty sure that Jackals won a 5-3, but I could be wrong. But either way, I believe it. Based on that series we just watched, a really close series between 2 very, very talented teams. Jackals have a lot to learn from this one. So do Immo Elite. But if you're playing Immo Elite next round, you better be ready, because this team is led by Prodigy. In my opinion, they are ready, and they're ready for anything. They're taking down a crazy team like the Jackals. That is a feat in itself. So very excited to see